We've got a load of cars out here. Even a few electric ones. Hi folks, welcome to the Excellent Universe channel. If you liked the video, please subscribe, thumbs up, like the channel, like this video and comment, and that will help other people see the videos. This video today is about electric vehicles and what kind of problems they might cause, even though they're a good thing and I support them. But we might need to wear sunglasses as a pedestrian, maybe even as drivers or riders in vehicles. If we've got these LIDAR systems shooting lasers out, which is sort of like radar, and we might be causing radiation on the road and near the road that's just not healthy. It's not good. And I really like Tesla because they're moving toward using just infrared cameras and regular cameras and self-driving, which could be a lot safer. So now there are other problems with self-driving, which is if you do that a lot and you're just sitting down and you're not getting exercise, then people might be traveling more, and that could actually cause an increase in diabetes, cause an increase in obesity and the levels of people who are overweight. And as I said before, you might even need special sunglasses. It's very bright out here, so you can see I'm squinting even now. I need sunglasses just for the sun, but we don't know what kind of radiation might be coming out of these new electric vehicles. Also, you might need protection from the electromagnetic fields that are being caused by the battery or being caused by the electric motors. So overall, I advocate driving as little as possible. We've got to reduce our pollution on the planet. You should be riding a bike. Electric vehicles are wonderful for times that otherwise people would absolutely need to be driving. But maybe we need to go back. It might be much more sustainable if we followed the example of people that still use horses and do farming. And you know what? They're actually much wealthier than the average person. The groups of people throughout the world that said, you know, we're not going to use electric vehicles, we're not going to use gasoline vehicles, we're going to use good old horses and carriages, and we're not going to give up our way of life. Those people could be a lot healthier and a lot happier. And if you live in a city and there's terrible traffic and you drive all the time and you have poor health, you know what I'm talking about. And if you want to reduce the number of people that are in your situation, then maybe you could just decide, okay, I'll only have one child. If you're trying to make a decision about should you have children or not, maybe you could adopt children or have just one or two. But since we really need to reduce pollution and hopefully have better health in the future generations, having a lot of children, since we're already overcrowded, we're like, I would say maybe 80%. We have 80% overcrowding, 80% too many, even more than that, maybe 85% too many people. We need to get down to about 1 billion people. And so, you know, that's going to help as we do that only by having fewer children. I don't advocate the pandemic as a way to reduce population or any other way. Just gradually, peacefully, through natural means and find methods to reduce our population, that would be the good way. So now I want to talk a little bit more about other problems that we might have from electric cars. So as we move away from gasoline, it's wonderful. Electric cars will mean that the air pollution on the roads should be greatly reduced. That's going to be great. But producing the batteries, it needs a lot of resources. And so there will be mining of materials. And hopefully we can use renewable energy to do that. And also, as we reduce the population over time, we can simply recycle the old materials using renewable energy like wind and solar. And so therefore, there might be a point where we don't need to do the mining, and we can have more nature, more natural areas. And as we reduce the size of our cities and the other developed places, it's going to be great. You know, we'll have more species. Hopefully we'll get some new species, which naturally will occur over time. So we have to just figure all this out, and so encourage everybody to, slowly and gradually reduce the population, and things will, as I said before, it's going to be less expensive. But the direction we're headed right now, there are so many countries, they are just increasing their population. I'm not saying all countries, but many, having more and more children and causing more and more pollution. And so we have to reverse this trend, and through education. And you just have to talk to people and say, hey, we have a big pollution problem and we need to reduce pollution. And the easiest way, besides engineering and designing better systems and renewable systems, for example, like electric cars and renewable energy. But the easiest way is reducing population. So another thing is, we're still making a lot of pollution powering the electric cars with the power plants, and we have a lot of gasoline and diesel cars still on the road, and as they get older they might pollute more and more, so we have to be careful. We don't want them polluting so much, so we need to sort of keep track and maybe have annual checks, which they do in some countries, that make sure that the vehicles don't pollute too much, and eventually they will not be used anymore over time. So that'll be a good thing. As gasoline and diesel or petrol are used less and less, if there's less demand, the price might go down, and then other countries that didn't use the gasoline before, they might start using it and start buying it. So it'd be good if we had gradual end to drilling for oil, and if we have some time where there's an ice age and the planet is getting colder drastically, then we could use the fossil fuels like coal and gasoline or diesel and petrol. We can drill it and use it at that time and help to reduce the ice age. And so, glaciers, they could take over Canada, they could take over the northern part of the United States, and over a long history of the world, some scientists believe the ice covered the entire planet, and the scientists that don't believe that say that ice was maybe everywhere except for near the equator. And the reason for having so much ice is not understood. So there are theories or different hypotheses about why we had ice ages in the past and cycles of the basically the orbit and rotation of the planet, maybe in relation also influenced by the moon, but it could be other planets. If the other planets orbits line up at a certain way, that maybe that could cause an ice age. If the orbit of the Earth is changed, or could be interstellar dust and gas. We could move through a cloud of interstellar dust and gas, and that could reduce the amount of sunlight and reduce the heating of the planet, and that could cause an ice age. There are many different possibilities. It could be something about the power of the sun itself. So many reasons. But anyway, so what I'm saying is it'd be good to phase out gasoline. Don't allow it to be used and get much cheaper. And that could be done simply by having the system of pollution credits and basically saying, okay, if you are a polluter, even individual polluters like car owners or whatever, there might be a certain cost that they have to pay. So it doesn't say it's illegal. It's not illegal to have a gasoline vehicle, but maybe there's a special fee or special license needed in the future, and it's going to be expensive, and it will just clearly discourage near to zero the use of very polluting vehicles. However, as I said, it might be good if we save these resources for an emergency in the future, so that it'd be a good thing. And now all the gasoline cars, those can be recycled. So when they get older, they're already scrapped. People use the parts, which is okay, but after a while, they just get too old, too useless, and so we can recycle the metal, turn it into solar-powered vehicles, and as I said before, we need to stop using so many vehicles altogether. It would be much better to be riding bicycles, and I'm not saying public transportation because it's easy to spread diseases. So as we reduce our population, we should check out other countries that use bicycles a lot. Those people are so healthy, lower rates of obesity, diabetes, they have longer lifespans, I believe. And so it's a good thing. And what you might need to do personally, I'm talking you individually, may need to move closer to the places you need to go to every day. If you need to move closer to work, to your school, to grocery shopping. And designers out there, if you're one of those zoning people that designed modern cities with the stores all together so far away, and you had areas that are only neighborhoods, and you designed the cities and towns for the heavy use of automobiles. What a disaster you have created in health. You have created, so if you're a city planner or maybe land developer, first of all, your goal should be to reduce the cities. Instead of turning farms into neighborhoods, we need to turn neighborhoods into natural areas as we reduce our population. And I'm not against immigration. If anybody wants to leave a country, that leaves an opening for somebody to come in. So immigration can happen on a one-to-one basis, but we don't need to increase the size of the planet. population. It's difficult to increase the size of the planet, but we don't need to increase our population, and especially of any particular country. And when some country has wars and disasters, yes, we can welcome refugees,